Okay. Hey, good morning. How are you doing? Hopefully you're having a great morning. It's a good-looking morning out there. We've got a few clouds, but otherwise nice. It's warm as usual. It's middle August. It should be hot, and it's going to be a hot day. I'm going to focus more on what's happening in the Gulf with the heat. So let's start off with this. All right. Almost all the global models have all for this weekend have about a tenth of an inch of rain. Not very much. And you're saying, well, what's the big deal? Well, we've got a tropical wave that looks like it's trying to develop into at least a stronger tropical wave, and then on its way to depression. I'll show you the satellite here in just a minute. But it's moving basically in our way, in our direction. And so what I think is probably going to happen on Saturday is Friday night into Saturday, we'll have some scattered rain, and the moisture levels are going to go way up. Most of us over the Saturday period, because Sunday I think is going to be dry. But Saturday, maybe a quarter of an inch to a half an inch. But here's the problem. There will be a lot of moisture. And so I think there will be some pockets of 1 to 2 inches of rainfall and some maybe localized flooding here and there. At this time, it's just really hard to pinpoint down, especially given the global models and what they're giving me. This is almost like flying without any instruments. So I'm kind of using what I think there, and that's what I think. I think quarter of an inch to a half an inch. It's going to be a little wet Saturday morning, and then Saturday afternoon, it's going to be real hit and miss. Some areas may not pick up any rain. Some, it's going to be really bandy. Let's just put it that way, in bands. And so some places on Saturday may not pick up any rain at all. Others may have some really heavy downpours. And by the way, I don't have a way to respond to the comments. I apologize greatly for that, because I'm sure you've got all kinds of comments and questions. All right, out there this morning, partly cloudy skies, 81. Record high is 104, set back in 2020. Our average high for this time of the year, right around 97. Our high today is going to be about 99. And again, we'll have a 10% chance of rain. If you have anything planned on this Thursday night, it's going to be pretty warm. In the 90s, we'll probably get into the 80s by around 9 o'clock. Okay, let me give you the overall setup of what is happening. We've got a ridge of high pressure across the Four Corners and the Rocky Mountains. It has been really hot there. We've got another high over Florida, and we're in between, and we've been in between. That's why we've seen some scattered afternoon showers and storms in the afternoon. I think today we'll have probably fewer, but a 10% to 20%, something like that. And then Friday, we're still in that weakness, but I think we'll have some sea breeze activity that comes in on Friday. And then, according to the European model, the high tries to build in at the same time that we've got this developing tropical system in the Gulf. And so I think the net result is going to be really streaky, really spotty, but some heavy downpours here and there. At least that's the way I am playing it. And then the ridge really builds in on Sunday and Monday, so no rain. And then as we head into next week, I think we'll still be in that weakness with the high still out to the west. And so each and every afternoon over the next week, we'll have a chance for some scattered rain. Okay, let me show you the latest satellite imagery. The potential center of circulation, notice earlier this morning was not a big deal. And to be honest, it's probably still not a big deal. But you notice the thunderstorms really blowing up this morning in the southern Gulf. And it looks like the upper level winds are pretty quiet. So there's a 20, maybe 30, the Hurricane Center is saying 20% chance of development. I'm thinking maybe more like 20 to 30 of development, but it doesn't look likely. Let's just put it that way. But a weaker system should spread in more rain. Okay, so here's what's happening. Where you see that bright orange, that's vorticity. And then the lighter orange shade is moisture. And I put on some computer models on here, the dynamic models. They're all pointing right towards kind of Brownsville. And so look at our moisture levels. They're going to really shoot up to over 2 inches on Saturday. I think this is going to be brief though, because look at how fast it goes. And then by Sunday, we're back to 1.5 inches. So this is going to be like a one-day deal on Saturday. So let's kind of step through it. This is the way it looks for today. High temperatures will be in the upper 90s, around 99. A real isolated, see the real isolated showers here and there, just real hit and miss. Don't count on rain in your backyard. Tomorrow, highs in the mid 90s to upper 90s, 97 I believe is what I went. And sea breeze starts getting a little active, so maybe a 20% chance. And then Saturday morning, again, There's going to be, like some folks, nothing. But in some areas, some pretty heavy downpours because the moisture levels are really coming up. Now, this is only, keep in mind, this is only one computer model, but I'm using the graph because I think it's doing the best job right now. And then that's Saturday morning, and then Saturday afternoon, yeah, just real hit and miss. So it may be just kind of a Saturday morning thing where we have the potential for some heavy rainfall. And then Saturday afternoon, look at Saturday afternoon, like over Bexar County, yeah, scattered showers. Nothing out west, nothing to the east. That band could actually be over Uvalde, Hondo, could be over Gonzales. At this point, it's just really hard to tell exactly. And then I think we do dry up on Sunday. So taking a look at the tropics as a whole, there's our 20% chance right there in the Gulf. There's Erin. Erin is a weak tropical storm, and Erin continues to be weak and therefore continues to move west. Generally speaking, a weaker storm in the Atlantic will continue to move west because it follows the lower level pattern. A stronger system has a tendency to glide more to the north, and especially once it gets into northern latitudes. If this stays weak through tomorrow morning, then I think that the Virgin Islands, Puerto Rico, if you got a trip planned there, are definitely going to be in the bullseye, and by that time it might even be a hurricane. This is what the National Hurricane Center has. I believe they updated this at 7. Every time I look at this, it gets a little bit closer to the islands. And yeah, if this keeps going west for the next 24 hours, the islands are definitely going to be impacted by maybe a Category 1 or Category 2 hurricane. Could even be into Puerto Rico. And this is projected to be a major hurricane east of the Turks and Caicos. With this western pattern, let's just put it this way. If it goes west for 48 hours, all of a sudden the Caribbean and the Gulf become active. If it stays west for 24 hours, then I think could impact the Bahamas or the East Coast. So it needs to start lifting to the north for that not to happen. Here's the latest runs of the dynamic models, and that's the only ones that I'm using here. No consensus, I believe, or no trajectory or statistical. These are dynamic, and it kind of misses the islands. But again, if that thing keeps going west, they're going to have to change their tune, that's for sure. Okay, here's your 14-day forecast. For today, 99 for a high, 10%. Friday, 97, 20%. Saturday, 94, 50% chance. I got that as an impact day because of the potential for at least some heavy rainfall here and there. Next week, upper 90s and a 20 to 30% chance of rain, and then isolated showers, I think, as we head through the 25th, 26th, and 27th. So that's the way it looks. Saturday, we'll keep you posted on what's happening, and hope you have a great day, and watch me at noon, and I'll be back in the morning. Okay, hope you have a great day, and we will see you later.